let's go. Produce it, process it, distribute it. I go make the dough just to feed my own. I go do it.
When it comes to agriculture, one thing you can't underestimate is access to water, especially in areas where it is so hard to find water. Today we're going to be speaking to somebody who is helping smallholder farmers in rural areas to access water, in order to cultivate their crops. I'm Arba Kumsin. Hello and welcome to another edition of Ghana Grows Edwuma, which is brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Road Show Foundation. Today we're speaking to Reality Engineering, and the brain behind this is with me today. Hi, welcome to Ghana Grows Edwuma.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah. Introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, I'm Thomas Ndenab, the Managing Director for Reality Engineering Services. Yeah, so as you can see now, you are in my territory.
Okay, all right. So yeah. I'm in this territory, meaning I'm in the northern region. Yeah. We are in one of the rural areas. Which area is this?
Yeah, this Ga. This under the Gushegu
constituency.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And what are we doing? Can you describe to people what you're doing right now?
So we're currently drilling a borehole for the farmers around this area for their dry season farming and for domestic use too. Yeah, so that's what we are doing currently.
I see.
Yeah.
And usually, how do you select the areas to come and drill boreholes?
Sometimes the selections come when some NGOs come together to select these communities. Sometimes private individuals also come in for us to be able to select the communities for them. Most of the times we look at areas where we easily can get water. That is those areas we actually always go to.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So it's not everywhere that you can get water, because people assume that once you drill a borehole and you go deep enough, you're able to access water.
No, actually from the layman's idea, people think underground is just like a sea, but it's not like that. That's why we do the exploration. We do the hydro survey. We have to do investigation on the land to get the right points to do the drilling. So there are some areas that you go in, you do the investigation, but the fractures you get, that breaks the rocks underground, they are air, not water.
Okay.
So that's how come most of the times you get dried boreholes.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Interesting. So it's not everywhere that you can drill, a hole and get water.
No, it's not everywhere.
So how does help come to farmers in rural areas like this where it's difficult to access water?
Yeah. Right now, as you can see, areas like this, they are dried up when it's dry season. So we come in to drill for the farmers. When it's dry season, most of them are out of farming, and always leave them outside the communities loitering about. So with the dry season farming, when we come in to do the drilling for them, they get water to be able to do their farming, especially with the vegetables.
Okay,
yeah.
I see. Well, that's interesting. That's good work you're doing there. But tell us more about Reality Engineering.
Yeah.
When were you set up, and what exactly do you do beyond just drilling boreholes?
Yeah, so Reality Engineering was set up in 2017. Yeah, and since then we've been into drilling, irrigation, waste management, and water purification systems. Yes, that's mostly what we do. Yeah, so it's not only drilling, but these other ones.
I see.
We
Water
do water
purification.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
There are some areas you drill, the water comes, but it has a lot of fluoride in them, has a lot of iron in them, has a lot of salt in them. So that's where the purification comes in. So we have a lot of different materials we use for the purification. An example is like the RO system. Yeah, it's very common with these pure water manufacturers. You see they have this water treatment behind them, in their factories. So that is what we use. That's a reverse osmosis system. That one remove the iron, remove the salt, remove fluoride from water for them to get a good clean water to drink.
Interesting.
Yes.
I know that irrigation is also very critical for agriculture.
Yes.
How do you collaborate with the farmers to, sort of set up, a good irrigation system so that regularly or consistently they're able to access water for their crops?
Yeah, with the farmers, most of the times we go to them. There's a budget for such projects. So most of the times we go to them, even as much as they can't finance themselves to get this mechanism for their farms. We come in, we give them the budget, they tell us the amount they can raise. Then we come in to take over. Some will say they have like 20%, some will say they have like 30% of the total amount. So we say, no, this is farming and it's going to help all of us. So why don't we come in to also help them?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the way we would normally come in to pet with the farmers.
So that means that they don't supply the full amount, but
No.
you help them.
No.
You fill
They
that gap.
They don't.
How do you make your money back then?
No, most of the times it's just like when you are helping some farmers in returns. Some have the goods in return. So when I come in, tell you that, okay, so when it's during harvest, this is what goes in, and this is what comes out. So they tell you that, okay, so when it's harvesting time, it's 100%. So you take 60%, they will take 40% of the produce. Yeah, so that's how we turn around.
And are you able to make your money from the produce that you collect from these farmers?
Yes, we make. We make.
You do, are you sure?
Yeah, we make.
So that's good work that you're doing with the farmers. But let's talk about the community at large.
Yeah.
How are you providing water solutions for the community at large?
Yeah, with the community, most of the times we get the call-ups from the MPs, NGOs that always call us to come in and help them get water for the communities. So in these cases, most of the times we do the hand pump for them. Okay. I guess you know the hand pump.
Yes.
The one we
push up and down.
push up
in
and
order
down.
to, yes,
That's the hand pump.
Exactly.
Due to electricity, it's not all the communities that have lights.
Okay.
So the hand pump is good for communities that don't have lights.
Okay.
So that's where most of the NGOs and the government institutions come in for us to go and get the water for them and do all the installations for them too. So that's how come we are able to pet with the communities.
So we all know that water scarcity is a global problem, not just in Ghana, but outside of Ghana as well. So how does your company, or what sort of approach do you adopt in, mixing your business with sustainable practices, especially for areas like this, rural areas like this, where access to water is a major challenge?
Yeah, for reality engineering, we are water providers. And anytime we go into drill or get water for the communities, what we tell them is that we take them through training. So with the training, as of now, you can see there's a broken down borehole somewhere. If there's training, there's always a way to handle the mechanism, especially with the mechanized systems. When you have a reservoir, you store the water there, the community uses the water. So there's no pressure on the borehole. So in this case, breakdown is always less. So that one helps us to sustain the water we have in the boreholes to supply the communities.
What impact has it had on the communities, especially those that have difficulty in accessing water?
Yeah, there are some communities, they always rely on, let's say, the NGO, the government to come. If they even have a breakdown on their borehole, they are waiting for the government or NGOs to come and help them. So in this case, when we come in, we take them through this kind of trainings. If your hand pump is broken, how to repair them. So there are some communities you go, they do their own contributions to buy some of these spare parts down. So anytime there's a breakdown, those we train, the technicians, then come in to work on the borehole so that they always get constant water supply.
Let's talk about irrigation systems, because they are a necessity, not even a luxury, a necessity in areas like this which actually lack water. So what are you doing in this regard?
Yeah, with the irrigation systems, most of the times we take the commitants into a training. We show them the type of irrigation that is there. With these areas, we do the drip irrigation, whereby we drill the borehole, mechanize it. As you see in the reservoir, the drip system is a kind of a system that passes through the line, then it drips.
Exactly, as
on
the
each-
name connotes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it drips.
So that system actually fits these areas because we don't have that huge water that we can do the sprinklers, especially with the center pivot system. So we normally go with the drip system here, which we train them as to how to do the irrigation. You know, that system is not, it's also a different component on its own. Yeah, it comes with a lot of training.
Right.
So as to the time you inject the water and as to the time you stop, it all has its training we take them through. Yes.
I see. Well, that's good. You're doing great work here. But finally, I mean, this program is targeted at young people, the youth, who we're hoping would be contemplating careers in agriculture or TVET.
Yeah.
You know, so what would you say to young people who may be skeptical about, you know, entering into this field?
Yeah.
You've done it. Tell them why they should also do it.
Well, right now, TVET is selling. If you are into the technical aspects, you are selling. That is, if you are able to take your practice seriously. Yeah, because I equally attended technical school. Yeah, so from there, then I went to the Polytechnic, to the university. Yeah, to do engineering. So with the TVET and the farming, we all can't stand here if we've not eaten. Yes.
That's very true.
You see that thing. So with farming is the key.
Yeah.
Initially, they taught us in school, or they used to punish us to go and weed. So it made all the kids, you always feel like, no, farming is a dirty work, which is not.
Or it's like a punishment.
It's like a punishment, which is not. So I encourage the youth to venture into farming. Farming is very broad. We have the livestock, we have the planting. So if you are able to discover yourself well, farming should be a key area you should venture. But those in the vocational schools too, they should take their studies very seriously, because once you have a hand-made job, you are good to go. Yes, so they should take it seriously, because that is what we are all benefiting from now.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're doing
You're
a great job
welcome. You're
for Mother
welcome.
Ghana.
You're welcome.
And there you had it, folks. If you're a young person studying TVET and you don't think that, you know, there are any profitable jobs for you to do in the future, you're wrong. You heard there from the CEO of Reality Engineering. There's a lot of opportunities in TVET, a lot of opportunities. I hope this has inspired you. That's how we end today's edition of Ghana Grows Edwuma. I'm Marba Coombs, and as always, Ghana Grows Edwuma is brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Road Show Foundation. Until next time, it's bye.